What up? How's it going? So Don Salamanca approaches Mike, tells him, get my boy Tuco out. 5,000 in there for you. And you claim the gun, yeah, ex-cop, nothing's gonna happen to you. And the look on Mike's face is just, oh, fuck. That's why he made it a point to be like, I only want certain type of work. He wanted work that would not have him inside a life, because once you get into it, you're in it. At least from his point of view, and he was proven to be right. So, let's see where this goes from now, because, yeah, I wasn't even expecting that, right? And somebody told me that when he opened the door, the bell rung. I didn't even realize that, but that's dope. That's actually a dope little callback. Hey, let's go ahead and get this episode started.
Resident of a Sandpiper Crossing facility or similar retirement community, you may be eligible to receive compensation. Residents of some Sandpiper Crossing or similar retirement communities may have been overcharged for goods and services.
Where's he going? Back in his comfort zone. That house is just in the embrace of Davis and Maine, right? It's theirs. That's his. A goddamn boiler room and a nail salon. They did her dirty, man. She got them like the biggest fish in the area. Well, one of them. And they said, hey, well, that's cool. You still got document review to be doing. I'm saying they, but I mean, Hamlin.
Singing through the sunshine, sweet and clear as can be. Bali Ha'i
That's the name of the episode.
whisper. All right, here you go. That completes our week-long tour of South Pacific. You're welcome.
Interesting way to show how like none of this is fitting with him,
You haven't unpacked yet? Kevin and Paige are here.
Absolutely.
Awkward.
I know exactly what Chuck may have said to you, but just so you know, I did not ask him to step in on my behalf.
Hello. Can I help you?
You know why I'm here? He needs an answer.
Respectfully, I'm gonna have to say no.
You sure about that?
I am.
Your Honor, the defense has made the very reasonable request that the plaintiffs produce their medical records, or, barring that, a signed HIPAA release so that we can examine the records ourselves.
This is a transparent attempt at intimidation, nothing more.
How so?
Many of our clients have information in their medical records that they prefer to keep private.
If the named plaintiffs are suffering from dementia or other mental deficiencies...
You're saying they're incompetent?
I'm saying we have the right to any record that would speak to their competency as regards this
Your Honor, it seems like the
class-certification
defense
issue.
wants to have it both ways then. Defense wants to claim that their residents are competent enough to be held to their contracts, but too incompetent to sue. So which is it?
Many of the residents signed their contracts years ago. As stated in the brief in front of you, this is a standard request granted in every case of its kind. This is not about bullying.
Granting this invasion of privacy allows our clients to be doubly victimized.
I'm gonna meet you back at the office.
What's he doing here? Because he was staring at her. I was like, what?
Miss Wexler. Hey, I just wanted to say good work in there.
Thanks, but I'm pretty sure I lost.
Oh, of course you did. It's an unwinnable position. That's why your boss didn't bother showing up. But you went down swinging, and I admire that.
I was very fortunate. HHM put me through law school while I worked.
That's great that they foster talent like that. And I imagine you're paying it off as part of your deal?
Yeah, happily.
We landed this monster. And I find out I'm second chair to one of the partners under preliminary hearing. And I think, this is it. This is what will define the rest of my career. I even get this new suit that I can't afford. I split it over 3 credit cards. I'm probably still paying it off to this day. I'm wearing my new suit, I'm prepping my table, and in walks the opposing counsel. There's 4 of them. 1 senior partner and 3 high-level associates. These guys have been litigating longer than I've been alive. I'm good. I got my boss coming. It'll be fine. So I'm sitting alone at my table, waiting for my boss to show. And then suddenly they're calling us to order, and I realize that no one from my firm is coming. It's just me. And I'm doing okay, respectable. But I'm just a BB gun to these 4 howitzers. And they all laughed about it. They patted me on the back, said it was my trial by fire, and I laughed with them. But, you know, it never really sat well with me. You want them to have your back. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about proving my mettle. My boss had a tea time that he didn't want to miss. And I'm wondering why someone who can put together a deal like that is arguing a losing position with no backup. If on the off chance that you're pondering a change, Schweikert and Coakley would be more than happy to put your talents to good use.
Well, I'm flattered, but there's clearly an ethical issue here.
Well, of course, we take you off Sandpiper. And rest assured, we wouldn't be expecting any information about HHM's strategy. But look, we're a large, diversified firm. And just think what you can do with our resources and the freedom to really spread your wings.
I owe a lot to HHM.
The tuition debt, we could take care of that.
That's very generous.
One thing I will say about this show, these packages they be throwing around to lawyers that they really want. Whew. I did not realize. I've known about like in the corporate world how it got down, but when it came to like law practices, I didn't realize how they try to get, you know, high level associates and, you know, partners when they're leaving and all that. I did not realize how much money and value goes into it. He said, "Oh yeah, we'll pay off what you owe." Welcome Matt was there for what purpose? You want to see if it's moved? Is that what it is, or if there's some sort of dirt on it or something? Trying to see, like, what was the point of that? And the carbon paper. Oh, the carbon paper. He put it underneath, didn't he? So they walk. You could tell if there were steps. I've never heard of that before in my life.
May's here for the gourmet quick chop. It's the fastest, easiest, and safest way to chop, mince, or dice. Begin and chop celery.
What's the message?
Take the 5,000.
It took 2 guys to tell me that.
We were just supposed to scare you, that's all.
You try harder next time.
Dog, he's so old and like, and I don't just mean by age. I mean, he looks so worn the fuck out. The way he just slides his feet at the end of the day.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, is that the twins? It's the fucking twin. It's the fucking twin. Oh, he pointed at the kids. For him to point his gun fingers at Kaylee, yo, he's wildin'. But it was crazy to see them with them terrible suits and they bald heads, and you could tell who they were from bad far away. It's hilarious. Okay.
The gentleman would like me to let you know that your next drink is on him. Just let me know when you're ready.
Is she going to try what I think she's going to try?
I'm Dale, by the way.
You got an executive producer face.
Giselle.
Like you'll see him on the special edition DVD talking about all the extra things they did for the movie. He got one of them type of faces. And we really went deep to try to capture it. Like he always said shit like that.
Have you ever heard the expression, a watched pot never boils?
Her clearing her throat, she could go someplace with that shit too. Clean your fucking throat over me. Go sit the fuck over there while I look for this shit.
Here
Fuck
it
is
is.
she doing?
Thank you.
Fuck is she doing?
See? I've got her down as item 12, date of depot, September 15th.
I'm at the bar at Fork, and I've got a live one on the hook.
I knew it.
Did it go well today? Please tell me it went well.
Yeah, it went well.
Very well? Like very, very?
Beyond our wildest, yeah.
So Giselle was telling me you two are starting a business.
What exactly did she tell you?
Oh, nothing much. Just something about a .com, some way for people to hook up with each other using the internet. Okay.
We sign one more investor, we gotta go public, and I'm just, no. We cannot take anyone else on. No offense.
¿Lleva algún micrófono escondido?
No. Ningún micrófono, pero he's got a gun.
I don't care about the gun.
See, that's a different type of mentality, a different type of folks, right? Because I'm seeing his hands go everywhere, and then he's leaving the gun, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna get it at the end. That man said, does he have a wire? No, he got a gun. He said, I don't care about that gun. Fuck he gonna do to us? That's the type of time they are.
Tomorrow, you go to the district attorney and you explain to him that my nephew's gun was yours. You tell him you forgot, you were rattled, make up anything you want, I don't give a shit.
Let's discuss my payment.
That time is past, no 5,000 for you.
The price is 50.
How about your payment is you get to leave?
Not enough.
Oh, you think you can negotiate with me? I say the word, my nephews go to a certain motel, pay a visit to your daughter-in-law and your little granddaughter.
I got my money. Or neither of us walk out of here.
You willing to die for this?
He needs the money to pay the guy back, don't he? Is that what's going on here? So if Tuco gets out, he could just pay old dude back.
Maybe I need the 50,000 more than you do.
Se los dije. Tiene unos huevotes. How you manage to live so long with a mouth like that? 50,000. And the gun is yours.
He sent you?
I volunteered. Only safe way for us to talk. That thing we did, he finds out we're both dead. You get that, right?
What thing we did?
See? He honorable. He like,
what's this?
He couldn't
25,000.
What for?
We made a deal. I didn't hold up my end.
See?
Your problem is coming back sooner than we expected.
I figured you'd be maybe, I don't know, a touch happier this morning. Maybe a smidge, possibly.
I am. I'm totally happy. Why wouldn't I be?
So why the sad puppy eyes? What, you don't want that job?
No, of course I do. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Besides, HHM is looking more and more like a dead end for me anyway.
Exactly. So what's the problem?
I don't know. I keep thinking of you floating in that pool.
Of freedom.
You knew what you wanted, but I got in the way. You took the Davis and Maine job because of me.
A place to live that's more than, 5 square feet. Boom. A car that's all one color. Nailed it. I'm good. I got what I wanted.
Doesn't fit. He does not fit that. And he knows it. She knows it. Oh, he gonna just pop it out. Okay. That's him trying to fit in. Forcing his way in. Hey, man. That's dope. That's some dope-ass symbolism. First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I have a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. If you'd like to, check it out. Look at this. This episode had a ton of callbacks that were interesting. Little small things. But then they also had these like big things, right? So we have Jimmy not fitting in. He knows it. He can feel it. And it has him awake at night. And the fact that he did something that he knew was good, but in that system, it couldn't even be put out. It's like, ugh, think about how he feels. Remember, I said, I understand why the law firm felt that way about the commercial, but it was a good commercial. I remember saying that, right? So when he's up at night, he's tossing and turning because things just don't fit. They don't seem right. He has that chick watching over him, and she's being an asshole. Somebody told me that in the last episode, I was rolling my eyes a lot. Yeah, because she sucked. She was one of the things that sucked. There was other things, but she sucked. And this episode, when she cleared her throat, I was like, yo, he's not a child. Right? That's just how I felt. But Jimmy is having a hard time. So he gets up, he watches TV, and he comes upon the commercial. And he's just looking at it like, look at this lame shit. Now, once again, we understand why they do commercials like that, but also understand how he's like, but that's not me. As we saw by Breaking Bad, we saw Saul, that like those commercials, how he gets down. He puts the lever all the way to the right, though. He turns it all the way up there. Okay, now here goes the little callbacks. Kim talks about how all these like corporate homes have those little wicker balls. And so he was playing with them the whole time. And it was just funny because I've seen those before. If you've ever gone to do a walkthrough in like a timeshare or one of those timeshare hotels down, like they got at Myrtle Beach or right, like in all these various places, you'll see those in there. And those just signify like this was prepared and when all else fails, we utilize this to make the place look like something, right? And so he's playing with them. He's doing Jimmy things with these symbols of just corporate, right? Then he goes back to his safe place, his safe haven. That small room in the back at the nail salon. And he does what we had saw in the first season. Scoots everything. He puts a chair up top, brings the bed out, immediately falls asleep. He feels a comfort. He's back in where he belongs. And it's like, I like that, right? Then he gets up in the morning and he goes to leave and he has the coffee and he goes to put the cup in. We had already saw that before. The cup doesn't fit. So once again, he wakes up. It's time for him to go to work. He's back at some place that don't fit. Then we go all the way to the last scene and she says to him, the last couple of scenes, Kim says to Jimmy, I made you go back. I made you work at Davis and Maine. He's like, no, steady paycheck, all that. True, man stuff, right? But truthfully, remember, he was sitting there floating and then it hit him and he makes the call, hey, right? It's one of those things where Jimmy, it's right, but is it right if it's you losing yourself? But the thing is, as we know, his self is a scumbag, right? His brother knows it. And Jimmy, to some extent, knows it, but he tries to squash it down because he does not want to prove his brother correct. Well, that's just one of the things, right? But so at the end, he gets the little crowbar thing and he pops out, sits the cup in there. It's like, yep, that's him. That's a symbol. I'm going to make this work at the destruction of other things around me, but I'm going to make this work, right? Cool. Okay. Then we have Kim. Okay, that first scene with her. Yo, Hamlin lets her back in to do work, lets her back in her office. And my man wouldn't even make eye contact with her, wouldn't even talk to her. He asked her, yo, you're not done unpacking? I'm like thinking everything's okay. And then they walk. He didn't say nothing. I mean, face looked regular. Not even regular, just. And then they open the door and say, hey, how's it going? You feel me? And she could just feel that. And she even tried to like cop a plea. She said, man, whatever Chuck told you, I didn't ask him to do that. He wanted to do that. In that case, you feel bad for her. But here's something I didn't see coming. The other lawyers who are on the show. I think they're the first other lawyers we saw, the lawyers for Sandpiper. It's one of those things where I was not expecting this, right? Even after it happened, I said, I think there's 3 things that are going on here. But no, that man, that partner, he wants her to work there. Now, here's another thing. He wants her to work at his law firm. The packages that these guys get. See, you could kind of understand, hey, doctors make money, lawyers make money. Tenured professors and corporate, people at the top of corporations. We understand that. But as I said, it's almost like a transfer market. They're willing to pay off debts for you. They're willing to house you. They're willing to give you cars. It's like free agency or something like that. And I never considered that or realized that they treat you like a straight up corporation, which, hey, it is. And so when she's like, hey, I owe them a lot, I'm thinking she just is talking on some, I owe them because I used to work in the mailroom. Now I don't. She meant that, but it was also, she owed bills. My man said, don't worry. Those loans I gave you for your law degree. Hey, we got that. Like, whoo. So he saw something in her. And it was himself. And the story he told was so interesting, okay? Because he said, that position you have, you aren't going to win, right? It was losing. She knew it. He knew it. And he said, that's actually why your partner wasn't here. So he tells the story about him going by himself against some partners and 3 high-level associates. And he said it was 4 howitzers at him, and he was a BB gun. He said they tried to, laugh and joke with him. He's like, nah, that was bullshit. He said I gave him my all. He thought he was going to be commended for that. For them, it was just a thing of, we put you through the fire. He said, man, that man had a tea time. They don't really care about you. And he was offering her a hand. So her thing is, remember, she has made it known, and she's stated a few times words like, this is all I have. This is me. This is what I have. And so here's another thing. I'm pretty sure they said this already. I did not realize this. I understood he met Kim working at HHM. I didn't realize he met her working in the mailroom together. I thought he met her while he worked at the mailroom and she worked there. Like maybe she was an intern or something. I didn't realize she was on the come up like him. I did not realize that. That's my fault. That's my fault. But that makes that even more interesting for me because it's like, oh, her whole thing of this is all I got. She was in that same boat like Jimmy. She worked her way up. Oh, so that adds even more of, okay, but now it's stalling. They don't see her as the golden child anymore. And she just doesn't feel the love. So when she's sitting there, she working and she's like, hey, I'm about to get something to eat. He's like, nah. He said he need this done by 2:30. I'll buy you something. She was like, what? Man, I'm going to get something to eat. As soon as I saw that guy with his girl, the thought that popped in my head is, what if she did the scumbaggery that her and Jimmy did before? And the fact that they did is fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's one of those things where she is lost. But Jimmy actually gave her a little thing to every once in a while blow off some steam, right? For her, that's it. The thing with Jimmy is he could full on backslide. It was just cool to see that she wanted to do that. I know you're not supposed to think that's cool, like that's some scumbag slimy shit. But also, it's the fact that she is willing to be cool with Jimmy and partake in his thing. It's like, oh man, they friends. Like, yeah, they fucking smash, but they friends for real. And she tells him on some friend shit, yo, you have something, this is you. Truth be told, there's a freedom in that for you. She's like, I don't even know what I want to do, really. And it's like, damn. Now I said all that. Oh, and the ice station zebra. that was from Breaking Bad, wasn't it? Like, I started laughing like, oh, yeah, that was scumbag shit, right? Okay. We haven't even gotten to Mike. Mike comes to his house. It's a scumbag sitting on the steps. Okay, boom. He like, I ain't doing it. So next thing you know, he got the welcome mat and he had the carbon paper. And I'm like, what? It didn't even hit me until he came home and it was like, because I'm trying to think. I'm like, what's he doing with the welcome mat? Carbon paper. What do you do with carbon paper? You press it up against stuff to see if some things happen. Oh, it was up underneath the mat. Okay. So like all that was going through my mind. And so now he goes in there. That was cool. The little thing he did. But when I saw them twins, I was like, what the fuck? I knew the twins were going to be in it because they got a big ass thumbnail thing on Netflix. I wasn't expecting them right then and there and that soon. The fact that Salamanca brought out the big guns already, he was like, and they pointed gun fingers at him, then at his granddaughter. Now, I said this in the Breaking Bad series when we saw those guys and they was in his house. I'm like, oh, they will fuck with your kids. It never got to that. They ended up dying. But then we get to a point where Gus is threatening full families. So on here, when they immediately point at her, I was like, oh, shit. So when Mike comes in, the way he responded is how I expected him. Like, nah, somebody, we all dying in this motherfucker. Even though he would have died, somebody might have get shot, but they probably wouldn't have died. He wasn't having that. His thing, he was like 50,000. And I knew, yeah, he got some money, but my thinking was he's going to use that money to pay Ignacio back. Why? He didn't get the job done. He don't want to have to owe him anything. Why? You dealing with a gangster. The thing about Ignacio is he's honorable. Did you see how he was like, hey, we just can't tell nobody? He didn't go over there and kill him. He didn't go over there or send no people at him. He's like, we can't tell nobody. Mike said, yeah, you're right. No, he said, we can't tell nobody about what happened. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or he said, what happened? I can't remember what he said, but he basically was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he hands him the money. Ignacio didn't even know what it was for. But Mike is on that honorable shit. He said, I didn't keep him wait long enough for you. That was cool. So we see where Mike's head is at. But the more we see in Salamanca, we saw the twins. We saw Ignacio, how this is going, and Tuco was about to get out. Gus is going to be here soon. I'm talking about it in the show. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay? I'm looking forward to that. Hey, man, next episode.